This seems to be the only angle that I'm gonna be able to manage. Keep trying everything, it's not working. I'm like, should I give up? What the I'm over here trying to make it happen, and I can't even get the camera set up. Like, this is beyond me right now. So, like I said in my first video, my life, there's downfalls, there's upcomes, and there's everything in between. And that's exactly what today's video is. Don't mind if I look busted, you know, I'm just trying to be real. And if I can be real about what's going on in my life, I can be real about what I look like when I just wake up. Because sometimes I'm not looking like a bat. Sometimes I have acne. Sometimes my hair is not the way I want it. But I'm still gonna film this. It's the dust flying around for me. Like, do you see that? Mm-hmm. What is that from? Every time I do something, it's like in the air. I'm like, come on now, you see you're trying to film this shit. Back the fuck up. I'm not gonna go in with a natural look today. We gotta go all out because this is gonna be a lengthy story. All my products on this little thing, I got it from Five Below. It's pretty cute, and it's definitely useful for many things, and this just definitely is a lot less stressful. Like, I highly recommend to get things. I know people put like keys, you know, stuff like that. I don't know, it just makes the surface look less cluttered and just makes it, you know, feel a little more like that and a little less like that, and we all want that. We're gonna take the NYX Professional Makeup Ink Pen. Oh wait. Epic Ink Liner. Epic Ink Liner, that's what I said. Go get you one. I'm scared it's gonna hit me in the face. Now that I got my eyeliner done, we're basically gonna start talking about the whole reason I made this video today. The story starts off. I'm gonna go on with the Pure 4-in-1 Love Your Selfie. This is really good stuff. Me and my mom, am I getting nervous all of a sudden? But, you know, it's just common. It's like time for me to leave the nest. And we just butt heads over certain things. So we were like going at it. She was like, move out, da 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 da. You know, I'm like, I am, da 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 da. Just going back and forth. We don't do this all the time, but it's happened before. Normally what I do is just go to work. We normally both just brush it off, because my goal, like I mentioned in my first video, was to save a certain amount of money and then move out. And I was gonna try to go to the cities. I'm literally shaking, I'm nervous. Because I'm like, I hope this goes well. This like pump worked the whole time and I just did all that. This is kind of dark. I think that's like me in the summer. But I went to DoorDash right after we had this fight. In the back of my head, I was like, I'm just gonna brush it off and keep staying here until I get my money right. I'm DoorDashing, doing my thing like I normally do. My car breaks down. It's telling me it's overheating and I need to pull over. This has happened before. Hold up, let's back up a step. I noticed my car was running hot. So I was like, that's a red flag. Let me check if I need coolant, because that sometimes fixes the same thing. And that didn't work. So long story short, like it ended up breaking down for real when I was working. It's delivering cat food, thank God. And luckily I still had like half the coolant with me from previously putting it in. And I was like in the middle of nowhere. So I get out on my hot girl shit. I'm doing the coolant by myself. I just watched the auto guy do it. I thought I couldn't do it until I was in that predicament. All of a sudden I'm out there in the cold doing my thing. I saw this car driving by. I said, don't stop. I'm doing my thing. But hold on, let me do this before this dries. Over here testing my limits. Like I said, we're going for a full beat. When I realized that my car was in the condition that I already dealt with, you know, I knew I had to get a tow truck. Like, this really sucks, but I can deal, you know. Have it be gone for like 2-3 days. It's gonna be a it's gonna be a shitty 2-3 days, but we can make it work. So I call this tow truck company. This man brings my baby to the dealership. You see, like, this is my car, this is the truck. He lets my car down from the truck, rips off my entire bumper because he doesn't unstrap the straps connected to my vehicle. This man literally turned it in from a 2 to 3 simple little doody do to my bumpers on the ground. Like, okay. I wasn't ready for that. I just woke up and this man's telling me my baby's bumper is just on the ground. Like, I lost it. And I felt so bad to the man that was like trying to be nice about it, but I'm just like not trying to talk now. Like, it was sweet until I realized what was happening. And it's not so sweet anymore. I gotta go. And I left that phone call quick as hell, and I bursted in tears because, of course, that's what I'm talking about with the multiple things. It's very common for me when I'm going through something, especially car issues, for it not to just be one little thing. It's always one thing and then another thing and another thing and another thing, just like this story I'm telling you now. And this story is already going to be long, so I'm not even going to go into those, but if you want me to, I definitely could, because they tell me that's on the ground. Luckily, they're going to pay for the damage, but like you guys saw in this first video, I DoorDash for my job. So not only are you messing up my car, like, I can't go to work. Another issue that popped up that was minor but something, a snowstorm hit, so all the work had to be stopped. What else happened? It turned out to not be the coolant leak. It's something with like my gasket. My car's obviously like got the check engine light on, got the thing telling you it's overheating, now the bumper's on the floor, and they had this inspector or whatever come out to like grant if it's damaged or not, and they literally said nothing was wrong with it. And the dealership guy we were working with said that they told the man he's never allowed back in their shop for wasting everyone's time, because we waited like a week for that. I'm telling you, this has been like a month already and it's still not even over. We had to wait for a whole nother person to come out who obviously said there was something wrong with it. So like I said, another hurdle, what's new. So I definitely say, yeah, those are the biggest factors going on. Oh yeah, and that was the Shape Tape concealer. Obviously, you guys know without me even saying it. But now I'm going in with this little cheap Wet n Wild contouring palette from Target. Those are the main event with the car situation, and it's very stressful. But now, here's the best part. This is why we're really going to make a video about it. I really took it as a sign. I'm like, since my car broke down, I might as well use this time to try to find an apartment, which this is why we talked about that in the beginning. I was like, you know what? Maybe it is time that I look and see if something's right. Because I was seriously just gonna hop back onto work. But something really told me an act on this moment that you're feeling. So I looked online and I found this one little apartment, and it was bougie. It had an elevator, it had a hot tub outside. I said, boy, I'm about to boss up. It was like 5 something for a studio and like 718 for like a 1-bedroom. I said, this is it. I'm out of here. Like, I'm never turning back. And then I called these people and I'm like, I need a tour ASAP Rocky. Like, they answered the first time. I'm like, this is meant to be. They have me scheduled for a appointment. I think it was like the next day. I'm like, this is it. They were like sounding like Dakota sounded like he was about to get me in the door. And then I go, or no, it was just right before I was about to leave. And my dad was gonna bring me because my car is broken down. So he looks online and he's like, I don't think this is what you think it is. I think it's like way more expensive. And I was just like, in that moment, my heart dropped because I knew he was right. But next, we're gonna go in with our eyebrows. I was like, you know what? Let me call him, see what's going on. Because why would it say that? Because it did. And he was like, oh no, yeah, it's $1,000. And I played it cool, you know. I was like, okay, well, I just, you know, I'm gonna look around. I'm gonna look around. I'm gonna, you know. Around. I'm gonna look around. I'm gonna, you know, let me think about it for a little bit, you know. Let me play out my options. Let me see. Let me get back to you, Dakota. Yeah, that was not gonna work out. So I kept looking. And I found this one little apartment. And I was like, okay, cool. Let me check it out. So the girl ends up literally being like perfect. And mind you, I was trying to get into one with all this bougie stuff. You really think they're gonna let me in with no credit? And it was gonna be a tough position for either one of my parents to co-sign. So like, I would have gotten that tour, but I really feel like I would have just got my hopes up and then nothing would have came out of it. And then I would have just been really sad. But like I said, I just looked again right away instead of dwelling. Like, I feel like the old me would have ended up saying she would give it to me right away, and I didn't need the credit. And the coolest thing was, she's like, I have 1 bedroom, 1 den, and I have a 2-bedroom. And the 1 bedroom, 1 den was actually more expensive than the 2-bedroom. So I ended up getting approved and everything for a 2-bedroom, which is so insane. And I'm so tired that I can't even like express the emotions I feel for it. I'm just very grateful. And another reason I want to talk about this is because I feel like back in the day, I very much prioritized a relationship and a job over anything else. And I really only focused on one thing. It wasn't at the same time. It was at different times. And I feel like those are 2 of the main things that people can get caught up on and like feel like that's what life's all about. Like money or love. Leaving a job that I worked at for 2 years. Prior to that, leaving a relationship I was in for like 2.5 years. This past like year, first time that I was actually alone in a long time and like really figured out who I was. So now I have my own sewing business. like I've took clips of before. I draw. I have a very big friend circle, and I used to not have a lot of friends, but I really manifested and prayed and worked towards, not just thought, not just, try to put myself out there in better situations to like gain friendships. And all these things that I've built up, having my job, having 2 jobs, having 3 jobs, including the business, having those relationships, having those hobbies to do when I'm alone, just like journaling, self-reflecting, a lot of things. I feel like when I only worked and when I only had a relationship, when one of those things crumbled, my whole world crumbled. But coming from like this past year really building up all this stuff for me shows me how much or how important it is to always prioritize yourself and find out what you love. Just be outgoing to new things, and I don't know, always striving for better. But I don't know, just a healthy balance. I also found it really fascinating how after building all these things, when this big thing happened, my mindset was fill it with a new positive void, like motivating void. Once you get going in that habit, it's so hard to like downfall into that. You just want to like upfall into that. I don't know, so it was just crazy to me that I was like, you know what, my car broke down. Year ago me would have broke down with it. Today me, I just found my first apartment because I was trapped. I'm thinking we'll pull something out of here. This is brand new. I've never played with it, but I feel like I have to for the video. Let's do a little swatch. This is pure naked. Not the best, but it'll do. Do the shimmer. Okay, barely there. But you know what? Let me do my contour for my nose first. Might as well go straight to the cheekbone. Go back over that with my beauty sponge. Now I'm gonna go in with the eyeshadow. I'm gonna go in with In a Pickle. Kind of applies better than it seemed. I'm also going with Make It Mint. And blend those together. Do I hate it? I panicked because I hated it for a second, so I just grabbed a darker color and put it on top in the crease, or not in the crease, kind of on my brow bone. And I just did relationship status, but it's way more pigmented than it seemed like it was gonna be, like I said. Alright, I'm gonna start the other eye. And another great thing, I just kind of wanted to wait a minute to say this, because you'd think all is well, and then literally they call and they're like, oh, your window just like fell out in the door. Like, it's just like in the door now. Like, of course it is in the door now. Like, oh, it's just like $250, don't worry. We knocked it down for you, babe. It was $500, but now it's $250, don't worry, babe. You know we got you. Like, I want to believe that you got me, but I kind of want to believe that I drove that car for 2 years and I never had a problem with that window, and someone literally ripped off my entire bumper, and you're saying that that has nothing to do with it and it just fell out. You know, it was just like luck that it just happened to happen when it was there. I'm like, all right, bro. I'm gonna get off the phone. Now we're waiting for that as well. But like, I would be really blown away if that actually was the case and I was just kind of bashing them for no reason, because I literally prayed, like, please just have this be the last issue. Because like I said, this is a common thing where I get it back and then I'm stranded on the side of the road because it breaks down on my way home, and then I have to bring it right back. I'm just like, please, if anything's wrong, just like, you know, have it be now. And then the window fell out. I'm like, okay. So I'm like, if you are telling the truth, that's a little crazy. But if you're not telling the truth, that's a sin. Now we're gonna go in with the eyelashes to hide most of this, so it's not as crazy. Alright, y'all, so I just put on these lashes. And that's really about it for this makeup look. Hopefully they look good. I'm honestly gonna put some mascara on quick on my bottom lashes. And now I kinda wanna put a little bit of blush on. I did just beat this face though. Alright, you guys, so this is my finished makeup look. I'm not sure if I talked about everything I wanted to in this video, but there was a lot to cover, so if I didn't, I understand, and I'm sure you do too. I might edit it in. If I think of something, I might just talk about it in a different video. Might just not bring it up again because I just want it to all be over. But this definitely came out fire. Weird.